Okay.
I'm so nervous.
The finals is upon us.
So nervous.
2 days from now. You're very nervous.
I have so many things.
I have so many things. And I'm honestly pumped that this is a matchup. I'll start with that. I'm pumped. I think the rhetoric around this matchup is very interesting. It's been very interesting. I have some crazy numbers about this matchup.
Okay.
If you want to start with the matchup in general.
Yeah, do it.
So I'm just going to throw some stuff at you.
Yep.
A lot of this is credited
Last
to
time Mavericks were in
ringer.
the finals, Jason Kidd was the point guard.
Yep, and now he's the coach.
Yep.
And they were led by a really good European.
Which,
So,
have you seen the thing? Sorry, we're
No.
just going to keep doing before.
that's how,
before.
how it works.
The teams that team went through, that Mavericks team, 2011.
Yep, 11. Lakers.
Lakers.
Portland Trailblazers. with Brandon Roy and
Trailblazers,
Aldridge.
Thunder, like
Thunder,
prime
the young
Thunder,
Thunder.
and then
Yep.
the Heat in the finals.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
talk about a path.
Talk about a path. That team
Celtics
was
may not be
really
the
good.
strongest path. That's fair compared
That's
to that.
fair. That's fair. So a lot of people are like taking the Mavs in this series. Like honestly, in terms of the experts,
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty split, 50-50 in terms of like Mavs and 7. The Mavericks winning would be the third biggest upset ever, betting wise.
Okay.
Ever.
Ever.
04 Pistons and the 19 Raptors. And the 19 Raptors shouldn't even be on this list because like all the Warriors team got hurt. So it's
Yeah.
really like the second biggest upset ever.
Wow.
So
Okay,
that's
wow.
insane. Dallas, if they won, would be the second worst finals winner by record since 1980. 95 Rockets.
guessed that.
Dallas was
That's
50 and 32. Yeah.
Crazy.
Miami in 06 was slightly better. Dallas would also be the fifth franchise ever since the merger, so basically ever, to miss the playoffs then win the finals the next year. Fifth team ever? I think no, that's just make. Sorry. That's just make the finals. So the fifth team ever to miss and then make.
Red Sox.
Not even win.
Red Sox style.
Red Sox style. Yeah, so that's crazy. And then on the flip side, would also be crazy for the Mavericks to win. Only one team. So there's been 15 teams heading into the finals that have had 20 losses or less. The Celtics are one of them. 15 teams ever. 14 of them have won the finals.
Okay.
The only team to lose was the 16 Warriors,
Yeah.
who also happened to play a man named Kyrie Irving, who kind of single-handedly won that Game 7. So, like, everyone's like, oh, the Mavericks could do it. Historically, it would be insane for the
Very
Mavericks to
improbable.
win this.
Yeah.
Very improbable.
I know.
But at the same time, a lot of this stuff you can't really look at because the Mavericks weren't the Mavericks until Gafford and PJ Washington got there.
Right.
So basically like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, it is crazy, the betting favorite thing. The Celtics
The
have
betting
been
favorite thing's
underdogs
wild.
in 3 games this whole year, and we're playing like our 100th game.
That's what I'm saying. And people are like, I don't know. But it's kind of fair because, which we can talk about this if we want, is the greatness of Luka Doncic.
Greatness.
It's absurd.
I still think that Tatum's the best player in the series. I'm being honest.
Wow.
I do. I really do. I really, really do.
Tatum's better than Doncic for you.
I actually do think so.
Okay.
I swear to God. It's crazy, and everyone's just automatically like putting Luka
Yeah.
in like a top 5. I think he's a top 5 player. I think Tatum's probably. This is going to
4.
be such a homer thing. Who's better than Tatum?
In the league right now,
Yeah, let's do it. Jokic.
Luka.
I don't think Luka. I think
Giannis.
Giannis. Tatum.
Because it was two-way stuff.
Then Luka.
Is that what gets you with Luka, the two-way stuff?
Two-way stuff, and also like Tatum.
He's not a bad... Like, this year,
No,
he
he's
has
not
tried.
he's not a bad defender.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
a bad
saying it
defender.
as
Yeah.
like miles different.
That's what's... Yeah.
I think Tatum could be like an
Underrated
all
defensive.
defensive player.
Underrated.
Easily.
Underrated.
Tatum is the 5th player in NBA history to lead their team in points, rebounds, and assists while reaching the finals. And the other are Jason Kidd, Tim Duncan, LeBron, and Jokic.
Okay.
Luka's not doing that.
Yeah. It's close, probably. But yeah.
Last 50 years entering the NBA Finals, 25 points per game, 10 boards, and 5 assists. It's Larry Bird, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic, and Tatum. Playoff points before turning 27. Kobe with like 2,700, Tatum with 2,600, and then LeBron,
So he could... So
Tony
Tatum
Parker,
could very much
Kevin
get
Durant,
that.
and then Jaylen Brown.
And then Jaylen Brown. So Tatum could definitely get number 1 on that list.
Yeah,
if he
which
has
is
a good
crazy
series.
because LeBron, I think, missed the playoffs like once or twice.
Yeah.
And it was still 3rd all time.
Yeah. Yep, he did.
No, it's crazy. I really do think that he's better just because the defensive end, I think he's not a better playmaker, obviously. I think he can score at the rim better. Luka, I think, shoots a little bit more. There's obviously stats to back it up, but his usage percentage has to be higher.
Oh, it's through the roof, yeah.
Has to be higher.
Mm-hmm.
And if Tatum had the ball that much in his hand, he would average whatever it is, 32, 33.
Yeah.
And people are saying SGA is like automatically better than Tatum.
That's silly.
I don't understand where like these narratives. I forget who it was. It was
The SGA one.
Oh, Zach Lowe. Did you see that video?
Mm-hmm.
He was ranking like his best players in the league, and he said Tatum was like 6 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
and SGA was better because he's averaging 30 points per game as like such a young player. Tatum did that last season. Last season averaged 30 points per game, which is younger than SGA.
Yeah, younger.
And why is he like last year he wasn't top 5? It's because these guys like talk in the media and Tatum's like kind of quiet.
I was gonna say this. The media paints the narrative around Tatum. It's just simply not true. It's just not true. It's not true at all. It's just not correct. And the SGA thing is a great comp because everyone's like, well, SGA is so much younger, and it's like, no, he's like barely younger. Yeah. Actually, like barely. I think they might have like in terms of age, that barely younger, and like. It just doesn't add up. Where like the stuff Tatum's done versus the stuff that SGA's done, it's just not comparable.
Yeah. And
then it's like, well, SGA scores 30, and it's like, and I love SGA. SGA's awesome.
Great defender. I'm not trying to do the thing either where I'm shooting down Luka. I'd say they're honestly probably on the same tier. People say that Luka's like way better. Yeah. I don't think that. I don't know why. Just because he scores, other than Luka scoring 4 more points a game, 5 more points a game, whatever it is, maybe 6. Why is he that much better?
So I think he's better. I don't think he's that much better. I think a lot of people think he's that much better. I think he's better than Tatum just because he does things offensively that I've never seen before. And he does it all the time.
He does it all the time, so it's impressive to watch. Yeah. But like Tatum behind the back bounce pass.
Oh, no, it's not bad. Again, it's not bad. But I'm like, but again, Lucas can just do that and it's like totally normal. You know what I mean? Tatum does that and it's like, well, that's one of the like 10 best Tatum plays I've ever seen. Luka, like, so I went yesterday and I watched Luka's like best plays and it was like 30 minutes long of just the most insane stuff I've ever seen. And it translates. Like he's never averaged less than 21 points a game as a player, which is like, again, I know it's just a scoring thing, but you watch how this offense runs through him. Like he just will score all the time. Like it just doesn't matter. Coward said he's the best tough shot maker of all time. Most of Coward's NBA takes the last month have been like, those are horrible. That I can get behind. Because
Luka is shooting like a career low field goal percentage in this playoffs. So
40, he shoots a lot.
43%.
Which that's a career low, which that's still not
still
bad.
Crazy, but Tatum's shooting 45.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown's shooting 54. Like
Jaylen Brown is shooting 54. No, but I mean, I just like the upside with Luka is like, and not even.
I know the upside, but it's.
I think he's better. I think he's slightly better. But a lot of people would have you believe he's miles better, and he's not.
You know what's crazy? If they switch places, this is always the stupid sports theory. It wouldn't make sense. Yep. I don't think either would be as good. Luka on the Celtics would not be as good as Tatum on the Celtics, and I don't think Tatum on the Mavericks would be as good as Luka on the Mavericks.
I don't know. I think the Tatum thing...
Dude, but the defensive unit we have, everyone can switch on everyone. Yeah. People forget that defense is half the game.
Oh, yeah.
And also, Luka would have to have the ball in his hand constantly, and the offensive system we have, which obviously you can change.
Oh, it'd just be different, yeah.
It would just be different. So then it's not really the Celtics. It's
the stuff with Luka that adds to it with him is... Because I actually did a lot of Luka research last night. And I didn't realize, but he was like a prodigy in Slovenia, like his whole childhood.
Oh, yeah, he won MVP
at like 16. Yeah, and like all this stuff. So it just like adds to it, like, oh, it was always going to be this. Yeah. Like he's on the all-time great trajectory for the 5 first teams in 6 years. So that's crazy. 5 first teams in 6 years. And so I looked to see how rare that was. Yeah. It's not rare. Like 17 guys have done it, but it's like
5 in the first 6 years.
It's 12-ish, I think, guys have done that. Like, but it's like the 12 best players of all time. It's like Duncan, Kareem, LeBron.
I'm not trying to shoot down. I think Luka is fucking unreal.
He's absurd, and we're gonna see some stuff in this series.
I know.
I can't wait for the casuals that only watch Celtics to watch this, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, 1, this guy's insane. 2, I hate this guy.
He's gonna be so annoying. So annoying. He's gonna be those step back like.
And he's a little like.
Oh, he has the dog in him too.
Yes,
he has that dog.
He's a pain.
I respect him.
I do too. I respect that.
If I was a Mavs fan, I'd be like, dude, he's the best player in the league. Yeah. I probably think Tatum's better because I'm a homer.
And you watch him all the time.
I watch him all the time, but I just think he's not as good of a shot maker, but he can score at will. The same amount.
Here's the thing about Tatum. Like
people would say that like the spacing's different because he's
massive.
Massive. Like he's a bigger person too,
which should add to it. Yeah. No, too obviously.
But I meant the spacing on the floor because like we have so many great players.
Right. It's a whole different team. Completely different team.
Same amount of all-stars. Like, I don't know.
Which is hilarious. But Luka's like... I think with Tatum still, and it's been great the last like 3 months to be fair, but sometimes you can get frustrated with Tatum offensively because you're like, just do this one thing. You're never frustrated with Luka. You're always like,
dude, there's definitely times you're frustrated. When he's shooting 30 shots a game and he's not shooting 11 of them.
I know. True. He does shoot a lot. And we'll see it in this series. But his just... That's the definition. Sometimes, like, guys who just are obviously really good, and then they have the, like, oh, they're doing stuff I've never seen before. Yeah. That sometimes, for me, just puts it over.
I know.
And I love Tatum.
It's tough to compare, too, because they're totally different style players.
Completely different.
And he's a ball-dominant guard, which is fine.
Yep.
Tatum's not. Like an off-ball, 6'10" forward.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to compare him to Giannis and Jokic. Like, Jokic is completely different.
Yep. The back to the media narratives thing related to this, like, Cowherd said something about like, well, historically, like I'd rather take the team with like one guy that shoots a lot, and I'm like, when did we start doing this?
I know you're saying that.
Like, when did we start? This has never been a thing.
Nope.
This has never been a thing.
Nope.
Like even like even the Jordan teams, like it's not.
They had every team that wins the NBA Finals has to have many.
Want to know something
players.
awesome? There was it was a speak on FS1. They were like, is Kyrie Irving if Kyrie Irving wins this title, is he the best co-star of all time? Is he the best second option of all time? Could I interest you in Scottie Pippen with 6 titles? Could I interest you? Could I interest you in Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, like either way.
Either way.
Yeah.
Like it's absurd. It's the media stuff's awesome.
They're just saying stuff to say.
They are, and but it still gets me to be insane. Yeah,
crazy.
That's crazy.
I just have a bunch of random notes if you want to run
through.
Them.
Yeah, me too.
I know people are gonna get so mad about that Luka thing. Which
you backed it up. Well,
probably not. But one way to like that thing, something that's always frustrated me is like when you're ranking players. If I have Tatum 3 and Luka 4, and you have Luka 3 and Tatum 4, why is it that you have to get so mad that we're one spot off?
I know. Yeah,
we're right there. It's not like I have Luka at 12.
No.
It's like
barely.
That's the
thing too about Luka is like and again I know this isn't everything, but I allow it to be now because he's in the finals.
Yeah.
Like he fills up the stat sheet.
No, he does.
So
he's unreal,
fast.
dude.
Like he could average probably triple double in a coming season. We'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, he easily 30-point triple double with ease.
That's what's crazy. It's like how easy it is for him to just do that.
But too bad that's his least favorite stat of all time.
Well, that's why I'm saying he's in the finals. That's why I prefaced it with him in the finals.
Okay, Westbrook never made the finals?
Once.
Oh, okay. Luka hasn't made the finals?
Okay, once. I mean, but he wasn't doing the triple double stuff when he made the finals.
Luka's not doing it now.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just the filling up the stat sheet thing. That was awesome for us when he made the finals. Less so when he was getting bounced in the first round every year.
Luka's gotten bounced in the first round.
Not this year.
Okay. Now we're just... All right. We'll do the Kyrie thing in a little bit.
27 minutes, yeah. Maybe we take a quick commercial break.
All right, quick commercial break, and we'll get back to the Celtics after the break.
We're back. Continuing some Celtics stuff. So I have Celtics hate. We could have the Kyrie discussion.
Celtics hate?
Celtics hate, like...
you can handle the Celtics?
No, directed towards us. Commenting on the Celtics hate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It was just announced that Porzingis
is back. Playing game one.
Game 1.
On Thursday.
Yes. Big news.
So that, from a basketball standpoint, someone smart was talking about this. Yeah. This is in my brain because I never played basketball, so I have to rely on the smart people to tell me what's happening.
Me.
You. And I think it's very interesting because now you have, like, Gafford and Lively have been so effective doing what they're doing. Yeah. That's really the underrated part is, like, how good those two have been for the Mavericks.
Wizards centers.
Unbelievable. One of them. Yes, 2 of them. Yeah. Unbelievable. But now that all changes because they have not played anyone like Porzingis.
I know, and
even Cat is not even close to Porzingis, and especially in that series, like he was.
They're just different style of players,
and terrible offensively. He had a terrible offensive series. Yeah. So, like they are from a Celtics offensive, Mavericks defensive perspective. When they've been awesome defensively.
Yeah.
They are not going to be able to lurk down low at all anymore. There's going to be so much space for guys like Tatum and Brown to drive. So all I'm saying is it's going to look a lot different. Which
I know.
Is
Do you think, like, we maybe ease them in a bit? Do you think they're going to have like maybe a bit of a struggle adjusting to the style of play?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think as easing him in as you can, but also at the same time, you can't, like...
Right. I'm not worried. I already know Missoula's
in
practice, like, simulating full games.
We're all villains.
Like, do you remember...
Aren't we all?
Crazy.
He's awesome.
Do you remember earlier in the year where Drew was like, the games are easier than the practices? He's like, I love it.
I love that. I cannot believe he got up there and was like, yeah, I've watched every finals game.
Yeah. Since 1990.
Yeah, it all comes down to rebounding and like late game adjustments.
Yep, that's all it's like rebounding.
It's just rebounding, and I'm like, well, probably fair.
Yeah,
probably fair. If you look at those numbers, I bet they're like whatever team rebounded better probably won most of the games.
Yeah.
So Porzingis is
that
back.
That was my question.
That's huge. I also don't want any like it's like that would suck if Porzingis wasn't around. But
yeah, I know.
I have a feeling he'll get hurt again, which sucks.
No, don't say that.
I know.
Don't fucking put that out there. I was wondering if you think we're rusty or rested. Now.
What is okay is that so is Dallas, basically.
So is Dallas. We've also won 7 straight games.
We've won 7 straight games.
Don't forget that.
And again, if anyone's going to keep us not rested, it seems to be Joe Mazzulla.
Right.
That being said, Jason Kidd has been in a finals, so he knows. And Joe Mazzulla has as well. So
all of our guys have been in a finals. One of them's won one.
Drew Holiday.
Porzingis hasn't.
Drew Holiday is going to be huge because he has. That. What's weird about a minute on the 21 finals? Like, I don't like how that's just like disappeared into the ether.
I know that was an awesome team.
Awesome team. That was like an awesome win. Yeah. That play, that pass by Drew to Giannis, that alley oop. I mean, Giannis had like a 50-point triple double in Game 7.
People forget Giannis was the best player on earth
Yes.
Unanimously by far for 3 years.
And that's like
years?
maybe that's one of I think the 5 best runs
Ever
by a single player.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable how that just has disappeared.
Unreal.
And Drew was a massive part of that.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah. It
Porzingis
was
is back.
Yeah, what do we want to do now? I have a couple questions as far as like game 1 outcomes.
Sure. I just have like people don't think Jaylen Brown is good for some reason, and I don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
we're still doing that.
Which I have a agree disagree that we can maybe discuss that a little bit more.
Yeah, we can do it now. Well, we can just keep ripping them. Do you know what I love though?
Sure.
Is that forgot.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, that Jaylen Brown doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Which is great.
He's not unbothered by it.
No, he's unbothered.
He was
but it is
so happy when he won.
I know, and I was like, "That's great."
Eastern Conference
That's
Finals
great.
MVP.
That's
and
great.
Tatum was happy too. Everyone was.
He was like, he wasn't smiling enough. I was like,
He was. There's a video of him in the background, like
yeah,
like
he's
this.
pumped. He's pumped. I think that was.
I know.
Awesome
They
for
just
him.
got to find anything to say.
Anything. I know. So I understand. Do we have the Kyrie discussion now? Should we have a Kyrie discussion?
Yeah, and then let's do game 1 outcomes.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
what the
heading
media
into game 1
headlines would be afterwards.
Dude,
Because I have some questions.
Anything. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Kyrie discussion.
Kyrie discussion
Where
is
are
2
you-
Boston guys.
2 Boston stooges talking about Kyrie Irving. Where's your hate level right now?
My hate level.
Yeah.
It's high, but it's not nearly as high as
give
it
me a
was. Okay, 10 was
Yeah,
prime of
100.
it. The prime of it.
I need 100 out of 100.
Okay, out of 100. 100 was him flipping off the crowd.
Yep.
All that.
Stomping unlucky.
Stomping unlucky was 100.
Yeah.
It's now at, and 0 was when he played for us, right?
Right.
Obviously. It's now somewhere around 60 to 70.
That's where I'm. That's where I'm.
You know, I really don't like him, but at the same time, like I care so much more about the Celtics doing well
Then
than
I'm
my
not
hate for
even
him.
worried about it. I know.
Like in playoff series past, like when we played the Nets 2 years ago, it was like even, if not more.
Yeah,
I was like,
I was
I
pissed.
need to beat
I was
Kyrie
pissed.
Irving. Like it's just not.
It's also,
that
I think
anymore.
part of it is that you have to respect it a little more that he's on not like a big super team.
Exactly.
And he's worked
Exactly.
hard to get here.
And everyone wrote him off.
And
Which
he's
I'm
been
like, you
better
cannot
with the media
respect
stuff.
that. Exactly. And he's not
It's
saying anything
tough.
to piss us off.
Yeah,
pisses us off. He fully could have, cut a promo the other day. He's been given like 2 huge opportunities to do that in the presser and in the Van Pelt after the game.
Yeah.
And each time he was like, yeah, man, that was a tough time. I was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had a death in the family. I was
I
like,
know.
what am I supposed to say?
I know.
Like,
No,
what am I supposed
that's
to
the
say?
problem is he's been
He's a human
kinda
being,
awesome.
and he's been like, yeah. So it's like, I'm never gonna forgive him
No.
for all that,
Yeah.
but like, it's not number 1 on my list.
I know, it's been
I
long
wonder
enough
how
in the
crowd
past.
will be.
Bad. You're going to get a lot of fuck you Kyrie chance.
And I
Kyrie
wonder
sucks.
if that will break him. Do you think that has a chance at breaking him a little bit?
I don't know.
Like
I don't
every
know.
time he touches the ball, it's gonna be
Bad.
bad.
Well, definitely game 1.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that gets to him, or is he now so dialed? I don't know. It'll be so interesting to see because he's been so good.
I was gonna say he was
What
so
if it breaks?
but you
Like,
know
what if
that
it
it's
breaks?
in there somewhere
That's
because he
what I'm
has it in
saying.
because for a year,
That's
couple
what
of
I'm
years,
saying.
he was so
That's what I'm saying.
out of control.
Out of control. So that's why I'm like, what if he breaks? What if he breaks?
Or what if he just drops 54 on us? And
Either way, it would suck.
it would suck.
It would suck.
Well, if
Either-
it breaks, I don't know if it would suck.
No, if it breaks, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. The 54
Have you
would
seen
suck.
people on Twitter being like, the Celtics are quick to print Kyrie sucks T-shirts? We've had those for
Ever.
5 years.
Clearly, you have not
you're
gone
not
to a
from
Red
Boston.
Sox game
Yeah,
because
outside-
those are everywhere all the
Everywhere.
time. You could have bought those a year ago from now when
Yep.
it was like probably at its lowest talking point.
Yep.
They're always around.
Yep.
Always around everywhere.
And people
on
are
the street.
saying like, oh, like they're selling "fuck you Kyrie" shirts. Like
They have
Boston's so, Boston, dude. We've been selling like that was a thing like "fuck you A-Rod" shirts like
all the
20
time.
years ago.
All the time. They're sold everywhere. And
Yeah.
again, those same "fuck you Kyrie" shirts have been selling since he left.
Design actually hasn't changed.
Not at all.
At all.
They're the same shirt.
I could draw it from memory.
They're the same shirt.
Yeah.
I'm picturing them walking out of Fenway Park.
Yep.
Like
I know with
so
that
the-
little dude on the corner.
all the time. Yeah, of Kenmore. Yeah, all the time. So that's interesting. It's very interesting, like what he's. It's insane, honestly. Like when you think about where he was a year ago.
Oh, I know.
They missed the playoffs. They make that trade and they miss the playoffs. And like Woj gets on SportsCenter is like, yeah, there's really no one for Kyrie Irving. Like remember we were
Dude.
talking about the Lakers and they're like, I don't even think the Lakers actually want him.
I know.
And so the Mavericks like have to re-sign him, and we're like, oh, that sucks.
That sucks. I think going into this year, I was like, their win total is gonna hit under by 1,000. Like I was so out on them. Did we do that on?
Because of
We
course
did that, right?
we might have done the Mavericks.
So I think
yeah.
that was like my number one under.
Yeah,
was
and
the Mavericks.
everyone was saying it. Everyone was saying it. And now it's this whole thing where it's like, yeah, fuck you if you're like, you're back on the Kyrie train. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not back on the Kyrie train, but what am I supposed to say? Like,
I still hate him, but
I do
my
too.
respect
I do too.
is growing.
Of course.
It's fair.
It's also like-
Although the thing is, if he cooks us in the finals, I will hate him tenfold.
true, and he says the worst things ever.
If he's like the number one outcome positive for Kyrie in my brain would be we win in like 4 or 5. And he's like respectful, like maybe
because Tatum loves him. Tatum and Jalen love him. I don't know if Jalen loves him, but Tatum.
The other day in an interview, he said he's like, I left on like a bunch of knowledge there for those guys. Like I still love those guys. Have a bunch of support. So if we smoke them and then afterwards he's like, yeah, this is a tough place to play. Blah blah. Blah, like they deserve it.
Right.
Blah, blah. Then I'd be like, okay, he's
totally fine.
That seems to be better.
It just but there is like 10-15% of me that's like a little Homelander-y vibes with him.
Oh, dude, if he cooks
us
and go after his like double bird, I don't know. I might have to. I can't threaten anyone. But
like there is a little bit with that. Like,
I know.
Is he 100% has a lid on it? You know?
No.
You know what I mean?
I think it's like if it were the metaphor to be a bottle that's like a can that's being cracked, it's like someone has their finger on the
it's on
little
there.
tab.
It's on there.
Yeah,
and just a little pressure maybe.
Yeah, it's like you ever played the what's that game, King's Cup or whatever? Or no, the one where you stick the card in the
Jenga.
can.
No.
Like the drinking game where
I've never played this. Oh, I have played this.
You have to stick a card under the can and whoever cracks it has to drink it.
Yeah.
It's like there's 2 cards under there. And it usually takes like 40.
Yeah, so it's getting there. Yeah. It might be there a little bit.
Yeah.
It might be there. That being said, he played in Boston this year. And it was totally fine.
True. It was fine. And we smoked them.
There's going to be some booze for sure. And I just wonder, if it gets bad, if it gets out of hand like it was with those Boston crowds, we'll see how much of a lid he has on it.
I know.
It'll be interesting to see. But again, we'll see. It's a very interesting discussion, the Kyrie thing with Boston. Because this was not an angle we were expecting.
No.
With him. We were expecting, I'll just hate this guy forever. He's the worst.
Yeah. And it would be
kind of probably easier. Over now.
It'd be kind of easier.
It would.
If he was still an asshole.
And now a bunch of Boston people who are historically not in touch with their emotions, just the city of Boston in general. Now needs to be like, why am I feeling this way? This is complicated for me to feel.
I know.
And it's like, ooh.
I know.
Just boom every time. Okay. Game 1 outcomes.
I'll just throw some at you and you tell me what the media narratives could be. We blow out them game 1. Tatum and Brown combined for like 55, 60. Everyone plays well.
Okay. Media narrative?
Yeah.
It'll be a sweep. They're probably going to sweep this team. Is this Celtics team one of the best we've ever seen?
Okay.
That's the media narrative.
That's not the media narrative. I think the media narrative is Celtics have the easiest road to a finals ever.
That will be too.
Yeah.
But I think there will be a lot of
Super
Tatum
team.
and Brown discussions.
I think so as well.
If they do that.
They combined for 60 points.
People are talking about the Kyrie Luka thing. Why are they not talking about? They're averaging like the same amount of points.
I still think they're arguably the best.
Oh, I think they are.
Duo.
I think they are the best duo in the NBA. Well, I have a agree to disagree about that.
Okay, cool.
Another game.
Game one outcome. We win. Tatum stinker. Jaylen Brown carries.
Okay. We win. Tatum scores like 12.
We win by like
terrible shooting night.
We win by similar to game 2.
Was it 1 or 2? Yeah.
When he hit the
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown carries
has like 38.
and we win by like 4.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown's the best player on the Celtics.
Yeah, and just
Tatum might not be a top 10 player.
Right.
Jaylen Brown's actually the best player on the Celtics. We've been viewing this all wrong.
Yep. Okay.
Now Tatum's the most overrated superstar in the league. He's not a superstar.
Yeah. Okay. Now we lose.
Okay.
This is obviously theoretical.
Right.
We lose, but we play well. And Joe Mazzulla has a bad.
What happens with
end
the Mavericks?
Of game. Luka and Kyrie do like the thing
what they usually
each score 35 points.
Okay. Joe Mazzulla's a terrible coach. The Celtics team, the East is terrible. The East is maybe the worst Eastern Conference we've ever seen. Luka and Kyrie. Luka's the best player in the league.
Yep.
If the Mavericks win 1 game in the first 2 games, Luka plays well, which he will.
Yeah.
Luka's the best player in the league.
I know, but Jokic has won 3 MVP.
Doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
I
just don't understand.
We've been passing the best player in the league mantle like way too much.
I know.
In the last couple of years. But
he's not the face of the league.
I promise you, he will be the best player in the league by the narrative if he wins one of the first 2 games, even any game.
Okay.
But he will be. He will be anointed that.
Okay, now we lose Tatum stinker.
Bad. Well, Tatum's not even in the conversation. Tatum's a bum. Tatum's a complete bum. This Celtics team.
I don't even think they'd be talking about how good Luka is. I think they would just be slandering Tatum.
I think so too. And then a little bit of Luka's clearly the best player in the league because they're just itching to do that. Everyone's itching to do that, which is fair.
Okay. And then last outcome, tie.
Okay, tie. Okay, first time this has ever happened in the history of basketball. What do we do now?
What do we do?
We're going to have to extend the series. We're going to have to add another finals game. This is insane. This is the most insane thing to ever happen in the league.
That's what I would probably say too.
Something around that with the media narrative. Yeah, just something like that.
I was going through my head trying to think of ways we actually lose this whole series.
Sure.
In a theoretical outcome.
Let's do it. Yeah.
we get cold shooting. We do the thing where we live by the 3, die by the 3, and we're dying by the 3, and being outplayed by Luka. They win close games late.
Yep.
4 of them somehow.
Totally. Two best players in the league, maybe.
And then we get injured.
Yep. Okay.
Those are the only 3 ways. Because they can't outplay us depth-wise.
No.
And talent-wise for that. They can't win 4 games with our depth, I don't think.
I think it's
if we're healthy.
Yes. I think it's a combination of poor shooting and also P.J. Washington scores like 25.
The random guys have a career night.
And the thing about that is P.J. Washington has done that a few times this playoffs.
No, P.J. Washington's great. He's like one of those role players that is elevated and will get a bag.
Yeah, and he's also like 23. Mm-hmm. That's what's interesting about the P.J. Washington stuff.
I know.
But if P.J. Washington is hitting threes, which he's done a few times, then I'm like, oh boy, we better hope we're making ours.
I know.
Because this team can score
but we can guard.
Points.
We can guard.
What scares me about the Mavericks, and this has happened twice in the last 3 years, is how they seem to just like obliterate teams. Like, how does that happen? Which, so do we.
They're kind of Dolphins back.
So it's okay.
I don't know who would, think about matchups. Who would guard Tatum? Who's going to guard Tatum? And who's going to guard
Jaylen Washington? Brown? It's probably Washington guarding Tatum, who's fine.
And then Derek Jones Jr.?
Derek Jones Jr., who's actually a good defender.
Yeah, but he will get bodied if he
I think so,
switches
yeah.
on Tatum.
He's not as strong at all.
And then you have to also realize, Derek White can score 30 points.
So can Luke Holiday.
And Drew Holiday, and they're like Luka and Kyrie are gonna have to guard them.
Who again try hard,
respectful guard,
try hard,
respectful
They do
defenders.
not. They try,
I'm not saying it's like
but they're just not.
Yeah. They're not Steph Curry.
No. Okay.
But
yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think another like sort of media narrative thing related to that is this whole idea, which it is fair. I'll get into why it's fair. Is that the Celtics are fraudulent in the dying minutes of the game? Like they're not a good late game team.
They're probably average.
With the numbers, this regular season, it was like average to below average. Mm-hmm. But again, they didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Because they blew everybody out. Historically, not this playoff run. You could have made an argument it was fair, especially because, every Warriors loss was basically that. Yeah. The Heat stuff last year. Okay, I understand it. Mm. If you're watching the playoff games this year, that is just categorically not a true thing anymore.
I know.
Every Pacers game.
Yep.
3 out of the 4 Pacers games could have been a Pacers win.
Yeah, but probably they were injured.
And again, don't care. I don't even care. I don't even care, especially because it's like, well, of course Andrew Nembhard isn't making that shot. It's like, really? Because he made like a million of them all games that I would have told you he shouldn't have made those anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Also, the thing Halliburton said, he's like, it seems like the healthy team wins in the playoffs. How about we haven't been healthy?
How about we've been missing arguably our second best player the entire playoffs run? That seems like something.
How about that?
That seems like something. We've been
third best player. If we're gonna do the
true.
Tatum and Brown are the best.
It's really third best player. It's really third best player. But we've been missing our 7'1" unicorn. Yep. Does that mean anything?
Who averages 20 points a game?
So yeah, but no, it's like this. It's this narrative that's lazy, where it's like again another coward thing. It's like they're 500 at home. They're not 500. They're not 500 at home.
They also haven't lost on the road.
They haven't lost on the road, and they're not 500 at home.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. They're like 4-2 at home.
We've won. How many games?
Oh no, I'm sorry. We've won.
No, 4-2 at home.
4-2. Yeah, because we've won 12 games and we've lost 2 games.
So we're 6-2 at home.
We're 6-2 at home.
Yeah,
we're 6-2 at home.
And 6-0 on the road.
That is not 500. That is not 500.
Something.
No, it is that. It's that. Okay. I promise it's that. It's 6-0 on the road, 6-2 at home. So we're just not 500.
No,
like these narratives are a little lazy with the Celtics, and I understand it because we were the same team for like 3 to 4 years. Yeah. It was like the same team year after year, not the same Celtics team. It's just not.
I know it's not. I am still so nervous. Mm-hmm. So nervous.
Me too, but I'm less nervous than I would have been last year if we made the finals. That
stuff
me too.
The Pacers. I like this
the Drew Holiday stuff. I'm like, he is like the definition of a late game basketball player.
And I know, but it's just like
of course. No,
I just get haunted by that last finals. My brain is like sitting there in whatever
with those pink shoes,
Copley, like watching the game, and I was like, wow.
I might watch every game by myself. Every finals game.
I'm definitely not going to watch party.
I don't think I'm going to watch party.
I need to hear it. I need to hear it at games.
Yeah, I need to hear it too. I need to be totally locked in. So I understand.
Watch it with the boys.